Hi everybody! I had a ton of requests to do a video basically just on my trip to Universal because many of you said you really want to go there and you wanted to hear kind of my experiences about it, and I'm totally happy to do that. I had a ton of fun at Universal Hollywood. Went to Universal Hollywood and I'm happy to share. So my best friend Jaimie and I went on a Thursday. And we ordered tickets online, which is at least $10 cheaper than at the gate. It was $105 to buy them directly from Universal's website. We looked all over the internet. We couldn't find them cheaper anywhere else or through anything else. If you can, great for you. But it was $105, and so we bought them ahead of time. And we also wore Harry Potter t-shirts and Deathly Hallows necklaces because we're geeky like that, and we love Harry Potter. And we got there really early. I think we left the house at 7, stopped and got, I think, like McDonald's or a drive-through bagel or something like that. And I think we got there because you have to walk through City Park. Parking and walking through City Park and everything took, by the time we got there, I think it was probably 7:45, 8 o'clock. Parking was pretty expensive, actually. It was like $20. And then you walk all through City Park to get there. But that was great. Oh, this is a shot on City Park. I was trying to get it so where it looked like Jaimie was hanging from the giant gorilla. Didn't quite work, but that's okay. So as soon as we got in the gate, we headed straight to Harry Potter World because we heard that the lines there get really, really, really long. On the way in, we wanted to stop and take a picture with the conductor. And while we were there from like 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., or something crazy like that. We saw like 9 different conductors, so I guess they get hot in the suits or have short shifts. There is a picture of Hogwarts Castle, because the first thing we wanted to do was go on the big Harry Potter ride that everyone talks about, and I will tell you the outside line was already decently long, and on all the rides all the rides all over the park, there are going to be like outside lines, and then there are going to be huge inside lines that twist and turn, and they try to keep you moving so you don't feel like you're waiting forever, but the line is always longer than you think. Always, always, always. Okay, so there were, there's another picture of that. There were things to look at like this. You went through different parts of the castle. So we were in the herbology building, and you could see the little mandrakes, and saw a ton of cool statues and stuff like that. We saw the house point catchers, and Gryffindor was winning. That shot didn't turn out too well. We went by Dumbledore's office and got a picture there. And all the paintings, for some of them were talking and chatting with each other. And you move pretty quickly through all of this. I mean, you walk through the castle. There's some odds and ends and everything. The Dumbledore's office. All sorts of stuff to read. This was a really cool room, the Defense Against the Dark Art room, because there was a hologram of the 3 actors talking about, and you couldn't really tell because you were going through so fast, but they were talking about, this adventure they were going on. There's the fat lady, and the sorting hat, and, that was the end of that. Let's go back. And unfortunately, soon after this, we got to the front of the line, and we got on the ride, which actually has these, like, the cage that you pull down over you, and I did not fit. And I had no earthly idea that I was not going to fit, but like all the rides in the park, they have, when you get on the ride people, the employees have to be able to see, like, a little yellow button or a little green button or something that shows that you're in it far enough. And unfortunately, on the very first ride of the day, I was a little bit too big for the Harry Potter ride. And that was kind of devastating. That was kind of a lot devastating. I fastened it down and it locked, but as they were kind of checking through, they were like, we can't see the little button. We can't see the little colored thing that shows us that you're in safely. So they pulled me and Jaimie off the ride. And they took us in this little back room, and they said, all right, we're going to go see if you'll fit on this tester one. And they took us back out through where the line was. And there was actually kind of a couple of the seats there, maybe like a minute of walking or so out before we actually got to the line. And there was a guy there who was supposed to be pulling people out of line and kind of testing them to see if they fit. However, he was talking to pretty girls. And so they had me sit in the seat, and they said I was like this far from being able to fit, and like have the little safety light come on. And so I wasn't able to ride. And that was really sad, because I never heard of anyone like not, I looked up a ton of Universal stuff before I went there, and I didn't see anyone talking about like, hey, there are, there's some fairly strict size regulations. Now, I'm not a little girl, but I've never needed a seatbelt extender on an airplane. I've never not been able to do a carnival ride or anything like that before, so it was a little weird. Now, I do carry a lot of my weight in my waist and my hips and like my booty, but it's literally never been an issue. I've never not been able to do a ride anywhere, and so that was kind of sad to me. And as we went through the day, at first I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to fit on some of the other rides. But it literally wasn't an issue anywhere else in the park. It wasn't even an issue at the other Hogwarts ride. But as we met people throughout the day and were talking with them, we met probably half a dozen other people that couldn't ride that Harry Potter ride or the little Hagrid's roller coaster thing. I fit in Hagrid's roller coaster. It wasn't an issue. It was like a leg pull-up thing, and it caged you in on the bottom instead of going over your head. But I was incredibly disappointed that I didn't fit when I have on those types of things before. It made me really sad, and I really feel like if I had been warned at all about that it would have been less of a disappointment, and I had to just keep telling myself, don't ruin your entire day here over this. And it's not JK's fault. But whoever designed that ride designed it to be for people probably 250 and under. We met a couple at the Waterworld show later that day. And this was a shock. I really believe this was a shock to a lot of people, because anytime I pretty much met someone who was 6 feet or over as a guy, or, a girl with really any sort of little bit of weight on her, the thing came up, could you ride at Hogwarts? Could you do the Hogwarts ride? And it was, no, that was so weird. And we stood in line for probably 45 minutes to go on this ride, and then we're just kind of kicked out. Now, obviously, safety concerns are paramount, but the people who designed this ride, I feel like, could have possibly made the seats just a little bit bigger to accommodate more people. Personal opinion. Because every other ride in the park I could fit on. It wasn't an issue. Similar cages and all that, and I've never had an issue anywhere else. So I'm not making fat lady excuses, but it was disappointing to me that whoever designed that did it for a very small range. Because the guy we met at Waterworld was not a big guy. He wasn't a big guy at all, I swear. He was probably 6 feet tall. He had kind of a football player's build, but not a big football player's build. He would have been the kicker, or, kind of the medium-sized guy. I don't think my brother would have fit on there, and he's not a large man. I don't think my dad would have fit on there. Not large men, not fat men, but it just wouldn't fit. So I say this despite the fact that it's somewhat humiliating, because I feel like if I had known that there was a chance that I wouldn't have been able to ride, I would have, sought out the little tester seat that was at the front, at the entrance to the other rides. Everywhere else in the park, there was a kind of a tester seat where you could see if you'd fit before you went and waited in line. And to my knowledge, there's not one of those in front of Harry Potter. You have to wait until you're 40 out of 45 minutes in to do that. And if you're not looking for it, you're going to miss it, because the guy there is talking to pretty girls. Not paying attention. But yeah, that was saddening. That said, everywhere else in the park I fit fine, and everywhere else in the park was an awesome time. So that aside, I only wanted to mention it because if I had known there was a possibility, I wouldn't have been so devastated. So FYI, if you weigh 250 up, you might not fit at Harry Potter. And that's very sad, but it's just a thing, and I'd rather know. So, alrighty, so after that, we met up with a budget girlfriend, or a budget girlfriend of a friend. A budget girl viewer, Sue, connected me with this guy, Mike, who works there, and we got to meet up there for a second, and he had a couple of little single-use passes for us to get to the front of the lines on, and we could only use them at, like, the Minions ride, and a couple other kind of, like, 3D experiences, where it probably cut, like, 5 minutes off of our waiting time, but that was awesome. That was 5 less minutes that we had to wait in line, and that was very sweet of both of them, so I enjoyed getting to meet him. And after the Harry Potter ride, meeting Mike, we went to the lower level, which I cannot recommend enough. I feel like a lot of people stay up top when they get there early in the morning to try to get short lines on all of the big rides, but the lines are still freaking long because everyone stays up top to try to get the short lines. We went down to the lower level, which houses the Mummy, Jurassic Park, and Transformers, and some restaurants and stuff like that. And there were no lines at the Mummy. None at all. So we went on it, and it was amazing. That was probably my favorite ride. It and Jurassic Park were my favorite rides of the entire day. And the Mummy, it takes you through all these tombs. It's kind of like the movie, and it's a roller coaster, and it brings you through, and it's really jerky, and it's all in the dark, and then it sends you back through backwards. So it's like, and then you do it the entire thing backwards. It's really cool. I love that ride. We probably went on it 10 times, and I'll tell you how. Then we went to the Jurassic Park, which had a decent line. I think we waited maybe 10 minutes. Not huge, but decent. And that was a lot of fun. It takes you through the Jurassic Park, and then something goes wrong, and you get on this off course, and the dinosaurs are eating everything. And in one of like the overturned like flotation things, there's a little Mickey Mouse hat floating, like a little kid who liked Mickey Mouse better than Universal got eaten. And it was funny. And then there's a big drop, and it splashes you. And so here's a picture of Jaimie and I after one of the splashes. You will see more of these. They change the water levels depending on the heat. So if you go when it's fairly cool out, you won't get as wet as if you go when it's super hot out. Here's after another ride where we got more wet. And here is us on the level between the two levels. There's a landscape, and it's really pretty. You can see all the mountains and everything. This is us inside the special effects show, which I highly recommend. We just happened to get there as it was getting in. We didn't have to wait in a line or anything. This was really cool. They brought out a special effects team and showed how different things are done using scale models and stuff. And this is a really fun video. You're gonna be fine. He's right. Get him now. That's me, Steven. I have to take this away from you, okay? You guys really are family. All right. Why don't you stay here for me? I'm gonna transfer this to the booth. The trick with this was they pulled 2 people out of the audience, and they let the sister control the brother who was supposedly in the suit, and she was like swinging him around all over the place, and it was all part of a gag, but it was really cool. And then Jaimie took this clip. They set one of the stunt guys on fire for real. You can see he was in there for like 18 seconds before they put him out. And I'm just going to say all the stunt guys were super hot. All right. Oh, and then we decided to have lunch. We went to the 3 Broomsticks, which I was a little wary about, but I had to go because we were feeling like it was hot out. We didn't really want like heavy food, and everything on the menu at the 3 Broomsticks was like shepherd's pie and fish and chips, and it was all really heavy stuff. But I cannot tell you what a huge difference it made to have a good meal in your stomach, like a good hearty meal. It really re-energized us for the rest of the day. The prices were really good. It was like $13 to $15 per plate. Jaimie got the fish and chips. I got the shepherd's pie. We shared. We ate it. It was super filling. We didn't have any leftovers. It was like portioned correctly because who wants to carry around leftovers? And it was a much better choice than like going to one of the little carts and buying a $9 hamburger. This was delicious. I preferred the fish and chips, actually. It was really, really good, and we had kind of a tiramisu dessert, and the shepherd's pie was good as well. That was really good. So it was, and there's Jaimie finishing off the shepherd's pie. But yeah, totally worth the money, and I sat in front of the thing that made me look like I had antlers. So totally worth the money. I would totally go back to the 3 broomsticks, and I think it was a better choice than eating at the carts because it was filling and it let us get out of the heat for a second. It was really good. By the way, we also set alarms and reapplied sunscreen every hour because I was still burnt from last weekend. Here's a picture of us in front of the castle, and we're in Hogwarts because we needed to get pictures there. Later in the afternoon, as a snack, we stopped and got a butterbeer. We got both a frozen and a regular. I preferred the frozen. Jaimie preferred the regular. They were both delicious. It was kind of like a cream soda, and I don't like cream soda. It was kind of like a root beer cream soda. But yeah, delicious. I loved it. And then we went on a studio tour, which was the longest line of the day. We were in line for maybe an hour and a half for the studio tour, which you sit on a bus, and it is like an hour-long trip around the lot, and they take you through a couple of kind of rides, like 3D rides, and they showed us, lots from different movie sets. This is from Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, and they had some of those around, and also some of the active sets, and showed us how they do like the Trump Loyal, where they make the sets look bigger than they are. It was kind of a neat show, and it was kind of video directed by Jimmy Kimmel, which was neat. All right. There were also a bunch of little, characters from Universal. This was Frankenstein, obviously. And my Fitbit tracker said that we went over 10 miles that day. This is a picture of me with a giant hot dog. Not a hot dog, a taco. Oh, this is us after one of the rides on Jurassic Park. I swear we went 10 times on it and the Mummy. I was not very impressed by Transformers. I figured out that the 3D goggles give me a little bit of nauseous-y, headachy stuff, but it was still a really, really cool ride. But yeah, this is us after one of the high points of the day. The way that we were able to go on Jurassic Park and Mummy so much is because we went a bunch in the morning. We actually got kind of pulled by one of the ladies that was the workers that was running the ride, and she gave us I think it was called a return rider pass, and it was really cool. It allowed us front of the line access to all of the the lower lot rides, which was Transformers, Mummy, and Jurassic Park, which Mummy and Jurassic Park were Jaimie and I's favorite rides, so we just kept going back over and over and over and over again. This is a picture from Waterworld show. It was fantastic. Oh, and we got to see a Minion. There are some more Waterworld shows. At Waterworld, it was this giant, there were actors, and there were jet skis, and they were jumping off of stuff, and they were blowing stuff up, and it was like an extended scene from the movie, and it was fantastic. It was really, really good. Oh, here you can see some of the set. This is after they blew everything up. The actors were amazing. I mean, really, really amazing athletes doing all the stuff they did. You could follow the storyline. You got really into it. You got soaked. It was really good. I think you can see I'm starting to get a little tan. I think that's another on the Jurassic World. Oh, we saw Shaggy and Scooby, who I forgot were Universal characters. I thought they were Disney, which they're not. We did not buy any souvenirs at the parks, not a single one. I wasn't even tempted, but we did take pictures with the wands, because that's pretty much all you need a $50 wand for. So I think Jaimie chose, I don't remember which one she chose, but I think I chose Luna's. Oh, and this was one of our favorite characters. This guy was he's a full-blown robot. There was not a human in there, but he was being controlled by someone. And so you'd stand in little lines to take pictures with the characters, and we decided to take one with the evil Transformers guy, and he was, heckling people. The robot was, through the control of whoever, and once we got up there, he was, making fun of our Harry Potter shirts. He was like, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, what inferior houses, everyone knows that Slytherin is the best. What are you gonna do, curse me? And it was just hilarious. So, I think that is all. Yeah, that's all the pictures. Let me see if I have any notes, extra notes. Yeah, 3 broomsticks was good. Oh, Flight of the Hippogriff, everyone asked about that, is a pretty decent little roller coaster. It is short. It's like a 45-second ride. But we went on it twice. It was fun the first time. It was less fun the second time. We did get to see Buckbeak, and I took a picture, but it didn't make it in here. I guess it was blurry. Yeah, Studio Tour is good. The only things we ended up not going to were the Animal Show and the Hogwarts ride, for obvious reasons. The Animal Show we just weren't very interested in. Jaimie had been here before, and she said it was just kind of a couple animals doing tricks. We didn't really feel like, waiting in line for it and doing all that. And the shows only came on at certain times per day, and we just found ourselves busy. So, what we brought, Jaimie brought her purse, and we shared a water bottle. So, like, we had our IDs and our money and some sunscreen and sunglasses in the purse, and that was all we needed. And then we carried a water bottle, which was amazing and essential. There are tons of spots to fill it up. You will need it. So, and on a couple of rides, we had to, like, stow it in these timed lockers that were free for, 2 hours or so, and all we did was we'd go back to the locker. We never needed it for 2 hours, but we did go back a couple of times, especially on the lower level, and we just used different fingers we'd restart it between the rides, and use, like, different fingers and different people doing it, and you can get free storage of your purse the entire time that way. So that was it. If you guys have any questions about my Universal trip, please feel free to ask. It was an absolutely fantastic time, and I would totally go again. It was a lot of fun. So, all right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.